Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I am ranking every single championship badge out of 10, starting from A and ending with Z. Let's get into it. I'm going to try not to be biased, but right now I'm wearing the Derby County top, because later on I'm going to Derby County versus Charlton. Make sure to check out the match vlog. Anyway, starting as our first team, we have Barnsley! Now, I really do not like this badge. I just don't like it at all. You see it, and I think there's personally too much going on. I don't like the badge. I'm going to give it a 4. Next is Birmingham City. Now, I think this is a pretty nice badge in my opinion. It's not too complex. It's not too plain. I really like this badge, and I'm going to give it a 7. Yes, 7. Next is Blackburn Rovers. Now, it has the Lancaster Rose in it. I really like this badge. It's nice and clean. I'm also going to give this one a 7. Next, we have Brentford, the Bees. I really like this badge as it represents them. But also, on the other hand, when I first looked at this badge ever, I was like, what is that badge? So, first impressions, bad. But I've got to like the badge as I've seen it more. So, I'm going to give it a 6. Next is Charlton Athletic. Now, this, I don't really know about this one. It's just a sword, kind of. I'm going to give it a 5. Then we have Cardiff City. I like it. It's kind of plain, so I'm going to give it a 6. Next is the Almighty Rams, Derby County. Now, I think this looks amazing on a shirt, so if we were rating it on a shirt, an 8. But if we were just rating it normally, I'm giving it a 7. Next is Fulham. As you can see here, it is a bit plain. All it says is FFC, and that's what I personally don't like. I think on a badge you kind of need like something on it to represent your club. Like Derby County have the Ram because we are the Rams. Oh yeah, forgot to mention that one was a 4. Now, one of the worst badges in the league, in my opinion, if not the worst, Huddersfield Town. Too much going on in there, so I gave it a 3. Next is one of the worst in the league, in my opinion, Hull City. I know a lot of people that do like it, but in my opinion, it's a bit too much going on, and it reminds me of this chant, "You're getting mauled by the Tigers." Next is Leeds. I personally don't like their club, but honestly, their badge is okay. I'm giving it a 6. Next is Luton Town. You gotta love Luton. I personally like their badge. You know, a lot of people don't like their badge. It's got a hat on it, represents the club. I'm giving it a 7. Next is Middlesbrough. I remember when Middlesbrough used to be quite good, and I used to actually like their badge. But now, I've seen their badge more and more. I personally don't like it. That's why I'm giving it a 5. Next is Millwall. It looks a bit complicated, but I personally like it, so I'm giving it a 7. Next is Nottingham Forest. I'm giving them a 4. I personally don't like the badge. It's just a tree and 2 stars saying they've won 2 Champions Leagues. That's all it is. Anyway, next team. Next is Preston North End. Personally, I don't like the badge. I think there's a bit too much going on, and I don't like the animal, whatever it is in the middle. I'm giving that a 5. Next is Queen's Park Rangers. Like I said earlier, I like a nice little thing in the middle to represent your team, but they've just got QPR. I personally don't like that normally, but I like this badge, so I'm giving it a 7. Next is Reading. Every time I look at this badge, it reminds me of like old 1900s. Personally, I don't like it, so I'm giving it a 3. Next is Sheffield Wednesday. It's got the bird in there. I personally like it. I'm giving it a 7. Next is the Potters, Stoke City. Now, I'm giving this one a 5. Personally, I don't like it, but it's not the worst badge. Then we have Swansea. It's a bit like Derby's badge. It doesn't have a circle or like shape around the outside, but I personally like it, so I'm giving it a 6. Right, next is West Brom. I personally like this badge, and I'm going to give it a 7. I just like all part of the badge. I just don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's overly great. Next is Wigan Athletic. It's got one big tree in the middle. I'm giving this one a 4. I personally don't like it. And that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. And guys, remember, you're always getting mooed by the Tigers. Mooed by the Tigers. I'm getting mooed by a tiger. Mooed by a tiger.